didn't exist. Okay, Islam would still win as a philosophy if a comparison was done between Islam, communism, capitalism, liberalism, or all the other isms or schisms. Okay, Islam would stand alone as a unique way of life to lead humanity into happiness. What does Islam teach? Islam has beautiful teachings, right? We don't need to change Islam. We don't need Mufti Abu Layth's or Majid Nawaz's or Tariq Fatah's or no. These are some people.
No, you can't put Mufti Abu Layth in the same category as like Majid Nawaz. That's complete. Mufti Abu Layth brings opinions. There might be minority opinions, but they were from within the shit. So he recently did a talk with.
I think. I'm gonna come to him later on. Let me talk very quickly about Islam. Why I believe Islam is a beautiful way of life. If followed correctly, if followed properly, it leads to a beautiful character. If you listen to the Prophet's teaching, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said smiling is an act of charity. Look how beautiful this teaching is. He said smiling is an act of charity. Give charity even if it's as little as a date, half a date. How big is a date? It's a little fruit. Give charity. The Prophet ﷺ said, do not overburden your animals. They are creatures of God. Do not overburden them. The Prophet taught that paradise is under the feet of your mothers. The Prophet taught the best of you are those who are best to their families, the best to their wives. And the Prophet taught about children, man la yarham la yurham, the one who does not have mercy on children will not be shown mercy on the day of judgment. The Prophet taught about environment, cleanliness. He taught how to clean yourself, brushing your teeth. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Lawla an ashukka ala ummati la amartuhum bis-siwak inda kulli salat." That if it was not difficult for people to do it, I would have commanded them to brush their teeth with every single prayer, 5 times a day. This is the hygiene a man sitting in the middle of the Arabian desert in the 7th century is teaching to his companions.
And we're supposed to look nice, aren't we?
We need to look nice. Yeah, no.
That's true though.
There are some ugly non-Muslims out there.
That's true.
There are some ugly atheists out there. There are some beautiful atheists out there. There are some beautiful Christians out there. So there are some beautiful Muslims out there. Look, my advice is to look for the beautiful ones. When you go out shopping,
you should clear that up because you know some haram.
No, as they say, the beauty. As they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay. When you go to Tesco to buy a vegetable, you don't go for the rotten ones.
Yeah, it's true.
You're not looking for the rotten ones. Oh, let me find the rotten potatoes and rotten vegetables. So then you go for the nice ones. You go the nice. So likewise, when you go out looking for people, or you want to talk to people, or you want to see 2 representatives of a religion, of an ideology, look for the nice ones. Don't look for the rotten ones. What happens is when you look for the rotten ones, then that's the view you form about that particular faith or that particular ideology. There are plenty of beautiful examples of Muslims or Islam. Go for them. Talk to them. Plenty of beautiful examples of Sufis, plenty of beautiful examples of Wahhabis, plenty of beautiful examples of Salafis and Shias. There are some very nice Shias I've met, very nice gentlemen. You know, I like talking to them. I may disagree. I disagree with their theology. I disagree with their view on God.
Yes.
But
one or two give them a very bad name here.
Yes. Some people can give you bad name. So coming back to Mufti Abu Layth and people like him, and I don't know why he's doing what he's doing, because being learned, I know he's learned, he knows the Arabic language, he has read the classical works, and having had that knowledge, and he insinuates that weed is somehow acceptable, okay? Sometimes you need to use your common sense. There's some person who may look very.
Like weed?
I don't like weed because it messes your brain up.
I agree.
Okay. We don't need a fatwa from a mufti to tell us that smoking is haram. Smoking is bad for your health, because on every single pack, on every single cigarette pack, bad. Anything unnatural going into your system is bad. Unnatural. When I say unnatural, okay,
It's not haram though, is it?
I believe it's haram.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
No, smoking is haram, not because I need a mufti for it. I don't need a mufti to tell me that smoking is haram. I look at the cigarette packet. On the packet it says it's poison, don't drink it.
But it's makruh, isn't it? Like some people say there's a difference of opinion. There is a difference.
No.
Your
Those,
opinion is haram.
no,
You're not mufti.
I'll tell you something.
Come on, man. There's loads of smokers out there.
And I believe it's haram. I believe smoking. No. Smoking, I believe, is not allowed in Islam because it is harmful. It is. You go to any medical practitioner, you go to any doctor in the world, go to researchers, they will tell you smoking harms your health. If it harms your health, it is not allowed. I don't care what some mufti says in Zanzibar or in South Africa or somewhere else. I don't care what they say. I know it is bad for your health. It is haram. Okay, and proportionally, one cigarette can cause more, because some people bring the argument meat is bad for you, potato is bad for you, but proportionally it's not. If you have, for example, an X amount of meat every month, it doesn't harm you. But if you smoke one cigarette, the harm it has proportionally, by looking at the size of the cigarette and the intake you have, yeah, it is haram. So again, coming back to the point, look for good examples, and when you want to learn Islam, like brothers like you, beautiful brothers like yourself, don't go to dodgy characters. There are giants.
My main teacher is Sheikh Hamza Yusuf.
Okay.
And then my second teacher is, people want to know this, Sheikh Asabek. I love Sheikh Asabek.
Okay. Why do you love him? Is it because of his knowledge or his demeanor?
I love his knowledge. I love the things that he comes out. I love his early history, especially the Hanafi faith. But I still learn from everyone. So for example,
but do you know?
Shamsi, for example,
but do you know?
I'm going to sit down with Shamsi in a few weeks. I'm going to his mosque, and I might have said something.
But do you know most Hanafi scholars actually have disowned him?
Who's that?
Atabek.
The modern Hanafis, yeah.
No. Classical Hanafis. Classical Hanafis have disowned him because he is coming up with things that cannot be. Believe me.
Which classical?
Go to the Deobandi scholar, Mufti.
Osmani.
They're Hanafis. They're Hanafis.
I think Taqi Osmani, he said something about white being was alright.
No.
He's got a subcontinent.
No.
He's got a subcontinent.
Huh?
I don't like.
Sorry?
It's not for me.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great scholar.
He's got knowledge.
No, look. You just used something against Taqi Usmani.
Yeah.
You said he has this opinion. Let's assume he has it. Yeah. I don't believe he does. You have misunderstood him. Okay? Let's assume he does have that opinion. But then you have someone else on the side who appears to be legalizing weed. Abu Layth, come. Okay, Sheikh Atabek, for example, is
it's not easy to understand all the time. Sometimes his English inhibits him, but his critical mind, he's a pure academic, and he studied with all the.
Is it because
with Sheikh Uthamin even? You know, like he stayed in the desert waiting for Sheikh Uthamin. He was a student of Sheikh Uthamin. He studied with the Salafis. He studied with Deobandis, Brailvis, Sufis, and he's the one that said to me, "You have to learn from everyone."
My advice is, as a Muslim, again, when you want to learn from the best. The best? Okay, no, you have to travel for that. Don't, when you want to learn Kung Fu, you choose. When you want to get married, you choose the most beautiful woman for yourself, or the one who's most pleasing to you, right? When you want to buy a car, you go and buy the best car in your budget, right? When you want to learn Islam, why do you go to these people? Go to the best. The best are dead. Pick up the books, learn the Arabic language, start reading the classical sources. Your mind will be blown away in a positive way. Your mind will be, the geniuses we have in our history. People, whatever you want to read. Philosophy, Imam Ghazali, you're not going to beat him. Okay? Theology, Ibn Taymiyyah. Hadith, Ibn al-Hajar. Okay, Tasawwuf, Ibn al-Qayyim, and others.
I'm from the Hanafi.
No problem. Then Hanafi doesn't mean that you don't read others. Yeah, it does. Hanafi doesn't mean that you put yourself in a cage.
No,
yeah,
I have obviously Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Hassan Shaybani, Abu Yusuf, Abu Zufar.
Read the books.
I read the
Have you read Kitab
I
al-Khiraj?
love like what you're talking about. We're talking about Sheikh Wali Allah. You know.
Shah Waliullah, absolutely.
Amazing, but he's got loads of diverse opinions and he kept on changing.
No, he didn't keep on changing. He changed his views in the light of hadith. When he found authentic reports from the Prophet and they could not be compromised or they could not be reconciled with the school, he left the school and he followed the hadith.
I went to a lecture in Ibrahim College last year, and there was a lady professor from Chicago, and she was talking about this as well.
Right.
So she was talking about how
Marcia. Yeah. No, I wasn't there, but I've read her work. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing, and she's an expert on Shah Waliullah.
Yes.
And what did she say about Shah Waliullah?
Talking about how his opinion changed, how he went through
of course,
and then she talked about Shah Waliullah, the Sufi, that a lot of people haven't really explored yet.
Yes. Shah Waliullah went through a huge transition in his life. Okay, when he was 30 years old, his own followers, Sheikh Ashik Pulati, who was one of his followers and one of his cousins as well, if I'm not mistaken, he himself stated, because he traveled with him to Hajj in 1731. Shah Waliullah went for Hajj, okay, and he stayed in Hijaz for nearly 14 months. Then he returned to India. Sheikh Ashik Pulati states that Waliullah was a completely changed man because the knowledge he acquired in Hijaz was something new to him. He didn't have that knowledge, right? And that changed his approach. He became a completely different person, and his approach became a lot more informed, nuanced, and his writings after he came back from Hijaz are a lot more thorough and deep than what he wrote before when he was a young man.
The love him, the Deobandis and the Al-Hadith. So for example, like Sheikh Khalid Hussain from Leicester is one of my teachers. He loves Shah Waliullah, Rahimullah, do you know what I mean? They all praise him. So for example, we do Khatam on Thursdays, yeah? Where we believe the souls.
So my advice
Shah Waliullah said that's completely...
Do you have any doubts that he was a balanced person?
I believe he was a very balanced
Read his
person.
books.
I love his books.
Read the translation of Marcia.
I'm reading that now.
The decisive argument from God, Hujjatullah al-Baligha. Read it. So instead of going to X, Y, and Z, and I'm telling that to myself, instead of going to Tom, Dicks, and Harry's, funny-looking people or funny-behaving people to learn Islam, no. To learn Islam, go to the giants, go to the real people who lived Islam, who were an embodiment of Islam.
We've got British problems now. For example, organ donation. For example, this.
Yeah, but for that you don't.
So when I go back, those questions aren't asked. We've got British problems.
No. Every single thing is answered.
It's not.
Islam Q&A. Go. Check. Give me a question. I'll put.
Right. Is organ donation allowed?
Okay. Scholars are divided. Scholars of Islam are divided. Organ donation. Okay. One group of scholars says that mutilating bodies, dead bodies, is not allowed in Islam. So by that principle, organ donation is actually mutilating the body, right? Other scholars reasonably argue that if someone's life can be saved, right, by organ donation, and if the person permits before dying that my organs can be donated to save someone's life, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's his property, that's his belonging, so he's giving it to someone else, and both arguments are valid. What's the problem? So if one group starts to say, you bunch of hypocrites, you liars, you have this erroneous opinion, this is not Islam. In Islam, we are tolerant, we are generous to each other. If someone has an opinion, as long as it is a valid opinion and not a wild opinion, a valid opinion, we respect it.
So shisha, I smoke shisha occasionally on Adrian.
I believe it's haram. There are others who say it's not haram.
Haram is such a hard thing.
Yeah, no problem.
Like,
yeah, that's an opinion, but that's a valid opinion.
No,
because how do scholars base their opinions? How do they reach opinions? They reach conclusions by looking at the pros and cons.
Yeah, but traditionally they wouldn't say haram. It would be there's 5 levels, aren't there? There's obviously halal, then there's permissible, then there's makruh, like.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
And then there's haram's right.
But when some scholars take this view that prevention is the mother of cure. Okay. And anything that leads to harm or greater harm that thing is forbidden even in minimum amount. For example, alcohol. Okay. What is haram? إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه لعلكم تفلحون. That wine, not wine in particular, intoxicants.
Yes.
Allah used the word intoxicants in the Quran. They are the works of shaitan. They are the works of devil. Abstain from them. Now one can turn around and argue, hold on a second, intoxicants, when they intoxicate. But if I drink a little bit of wine, or if I have a spliff of weed, or if I have a joint, what do you call a joint? Yeah, nowadays they call it a joint, huh? A joint, yeah, of course. Of course, I've never... Okay, yeah.
I think you secretly smoke, you know.
No, I don't. I've never smoked. Alhamdulillah, Allah protected me from it. Yeah, I don't smoke.
Right, let me ask you.
Sorry.
Shaking hands of women in the office place, yeah?
Okay.
A lot of people say, haram. I shook those Californian girl. Do you know how much hate I got for shaking their
No,
hand?
they're okay. Look. Again, there are scholars who take a view on that. We don't agree with them, like Yusuf Qardawi. You know, with respect, Sheikh Ali Juma, I wouldn't accept him as a valid source in a discussion. I wouldn't. No, because of his recent opinions. Sometimes some of the things he is, either he's forced to say what he's saying. If he's forced, then he's excused.
Yeah,
okay, but if he's saying those things in his right mind, that when he gave the O.S.C. government an open fatwa to go and kill anyone you like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm saying that if someone has that opinion, okay,
shaking a woman's hand.
Yeah. If someone has that opinion, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. But if someone has that opinion, okay, let him have that opinion.
I was called a kafir in
No.
the comment section.
This is
You're disobeying the hadith.
No. This is why that they're wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
They're absolutely wrong. These people, look, don't take hundreds of these people out there online seriously, because some of them have no life.
Yeah, of course.
Some of them
use
all they do is they live on the laptop, okay, and all they do is spread hate and negativity, right? So if you will let those people govern your life, you're dead, you're finished. You might as well commit suicide.
So you don't
because
think it's
there is so much hate out there, like this content over everything, this channel. Yeah, go and look at the comments.
Content over everything.
It's like
from the scholars. The scholars approve the scholars, not from book, not internet, not from.
real.
What I'm saying is the scholars in Islam have had a plethora of views on all sorts of.
Yes, and we respect them. We respect them. Those who have the credential, and the behavior, and the demeanor.
Well, who defines behavior?
Behavior is someone if someone says I'm a Mufti, or let me go and attend that orgy. A'udhu billah. Or let me go to the club. You want if you go to.
But you don't talk about Mufti.
Okay. No. I'm not talking about him. I'm saying generally, you go to a scholar for a religious ruling, and he's having a pint, or he's drinking Heineken, or he's got Budweiser. Is it called Budweiser? No, he goes, hold on a second, let me finish this, and then I'll respond. If you are someone stable in the mind, this guy is not a scholar. He's not even practicing his knowledge. I don't want fatwa from him, right? This is what I'm saying.
Muslims are too judgmental.
No. Muslims are not judgmental. Those who are informed are not judgmental. They are reasonable. So if they see something, if it looks like a duck, and if it quacks like a duck, then it is a duck, right? So that's what I'm saying. So if you don't blame a Muslim for calling a duck a duck.
Well, aren't some of them hyper? Like they're just so oh my God, astaghfirullah.
Some people who come to Islam and they're new. Wait, let me explain. That phenomenon. No. That phenomenon. I'll tell you what. No. Listen.
And the ones that love to throw their furry around power.
Waqar, this is a human phenomenon. When humans start to do something anew, when you get married to a woman, you're very excited. She is the love of your life. She is everything. No. In most cases, 6 months. 6 months later, you think, oh my God, what have I done? Huh? right?
Give me another
this
one.
is like with Islam. People come into Islam. People come into Islam. They start practicing, and within 5 days, they want to turn the whole world into a Sharia compliant space where everyone has to comply by your rules. We don't live in a world like that, and Islam doesn't want that. Even the Prophet warned us about this behavior. Our Prophet taught us how to behave. He warned us that Islam will either overpower you or you will overpower it. Okay, what did he mean by that? Some people become extreme, you know, because they become a bit righteous. They start practicing. They start to gun every single person down around them. Oh, you're not like me. You don't have the beard like me. You don't wear hijab like me. You don't pray like me. Therefore, you are not worthy of attention. You are not worthy of any praise or any respect.
And it chases people out of Islam.
Yeah. So we are not. Islam is a balanced way of life. If it doesn't make you bad, if Islam does not polish your character, I'm being very clear about it. If Islam does not make your character better, if it doesn't make you a pleasant human being, if it doesn't polish your character, then you are not following Islam. Then you have not actually internalized Islam, because Islam should have an effect on your character, that you become a pleasant person, you become a fair person, you become a balanced person, you're not repulsive, you're not repugnant, you're not, you're not a negative person generally. You know, you look at good things. You got to be progressive. You got to be positive.
To be positive.
Yes, think positively.
We shouldn't hate people.
Husnul dhan. This is again taught by our Prophet to us. No, that's a Muslim thing. That's a Muslim thing.
Some of the Shias don't have it, though.
About the Sahaba. But then again, there's a problem. They're not following the Prophet. The Prophet said, have a good opinion of others. Until or unless you see clear-cut evidence to suggest otherwise. Have a good opinion of people. If someone gives you evidence in your...
non-Muslims.
Yes, non-Muslims. Absolutely. Have a good opinion of them. Okay, if they give you evidence to suggest otherwise, to believe otherwise, then you have grounds to believe what you believe, right? But generally, a Muslim is a pleasant. Even our Prophet ﷺ, how did he behave in disagreements? A man came to him and spoke to him so rudely. Did he respond rudely? His enemies came to him. He left his spot to honor them. Subhanallah. So because of one of the people, Thumama, he was a captive of war. He was put in front of the Prophet, and the Prophet spoke to him. He went to speak to him and he said, I don't want to look at your face. Your face, A'udhu Billah, is the worst face on the planet. He said that to the Prophet in front of his companions, people who would die for the Prophet. And some of them they wanted to kill Thumama. They said, okay, how can you talk to a Prophet? And he stopped them. He said, leave him. 3 days the Prophet went back to him. He said, Thumama, talk to me. And Thumama said, I don't want to look at your face. And then the Prophet, the third day, he said, let him go. Open his ropes, let him go. And when he did that, Thumama runs out of Medina. And then he goes out there and he thinks, hold on a second, I was saying such disgusting things to this man, and this is how he treats me, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came back running and he said, you know what? No questions. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. That only your Prophet can have that patience. Only someone who's inspired by God can have that patience. Normal people cannot have that patience.
There was a man that took a leak in the mosque, right?
Yeah. Subhanallah. That's such a beautiful example. A man, he came. Today, I'm asking the Muslims, these pious, self-righteous, beautiful Muslims, great Muslims. Yeah. If you saw a person urinating in the masjid on the carpet, what would you do with him? No. You would at least reprimand him, rebuke him, or you would grab him and take him out of the masjid, or you would think a man came in front of the Prophet, urinated in the masjid, and the companions had the same reaction. They went towards him, and the Prophet said, leave him, let him relieve himself. So
he actually finished.
And he finished. After finishing, he walked away, and the Prophet said, go and pour water over it. Wash it. That's it. Don't leave the man alone. this is the manner
Then
he
you
had.
explain to the man that
Yeah.
we don't do this in the mosque.
Yes.
It's a sacred place.
So yes, exactly.
What about the drunk Sahabi? Have you heard of?
Yeah, Abu Mehjan, yani one of the
Nu'iman.
okay, I don't know if we're talking about the same person. There was a drunk Sahabi, and the Prophet ﷺ, he was punished for his drinking because drinking was not allowed in Islamic society at that time. Sorry?
Locked up at Jash.
No, I don't know.
It's Nu'iman. He used to drink.
They call him a Jash.
I don't know. I don't remember the name. And then some of the people rebuked him for doing this. And the Prophet said, don't rebuke him. He loves me. He loves Allah and His Messenger. Yeah, leave, even though he's a drunkard. Even though he's a drunkard, leave him. So this is the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is, yes, okay.
They said that he influenced the jesters. You know the jester culture
Okay.
in the Ottoman Empire.
So what we need to do is we need to educate people about our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we need to educate the Muslims about his behavior, his manners, so that we can follow. If, again, to emphasize the point, if Islam does not reform your character for the better, if you do not become a better person, if you don't become a pleasant person, you don't become even well-mannered in your behavior, then Islam has not benefited you. You're not following Islam. You're ignoring Islam. You think you are following Islam, but you are actually ignoring the teachings of Islam. Simple.
What about British values? Just finish it off. The British values and some of the British kind of culture is very compatible with Islam, I would argue. You know, thank you, goodbye, please.
Absolutely. Some of the British people, the English people, some of the English people I've met, okay, they have beautiful manners.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful manners. I actually believe sometimes that this is a Muslim without Islam.
100%.
Some of their behavior, some of how they treat others, how they respect others. I mean, I've been treated with a lot of respect, with a lot of honor in a number of different places. Of course, there are exceptions in every single society. There are good and bad in every single society. But there are some people out there, things people deem British or English, some of them are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Greeting others, being hospitable, being helpful, you know, being tolerance, generosity. British people have been very generous with Muslims. You know, Muslims have been given a home in Britain. We have lived here for the last 50 years, built mosques, did art worship. Muslims are possibly more free in Britain than most Muslim countries. That I'm saying most Muslim countries. Yes, there is freedom here, and we love it, and we love. So there are people out there who think we don't appreciate it. We appreciate it. Britain, I'm an immigrant. I came to this country in 1997, okay, as a young man, and I benefited from the country. I studied here, I got my education here, I got my children are here, they were raised here, they are British, they are more British than Pakistani. They cannot relate to Pakistan. When I take my children to Pakistan, they think, can we go back? Can we go back, please? Huh? Yeah. Can we go? Because they can't take the system there, the culture is different. So they feel more British, and there are beautiful things about Britain, and we really appreciate those things. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that we agree with what the government is doing around the world. We don't. Many British people, because they are moral people, they don't agree with what the government is doing. Yeah. So there is a balanced view, and we need to cherish.
As citizens, as British citizens, we have absolutely a right.
Yes.
Just because we're brown or we're black, we shouldn't be seen as any lesser for having an opinion.
Yes.
Which is sometimes, as a British Muslim, how I feel sometimes.
Yes, I think, and this is why we need to talk to the British people more. There are many decent British people out there. I'm saying the majority, if the Muslims talk to them and explain to them that we actually love Britain. You know, we love being here. We cherish being here. We love the tolerance and the generosity and the beautiful things about this country. And we are like you, as human as you are. Okay, we may have different religions. We may have different views on God, right? But that shouldn't divide us. So we are on the same planet, in the same country, in the same neighborhood. We need to live together in harmony. And there are some people out there, amazingly, they have the audacity to suggest that what I'm saying right now is taqiyya. This is a big problem with Tommy Robinson followers or people who have been influenced by the right wing. We don't do taqiyya.
Can you tell us
Our
what taqiyya means in Punjabi?
It's in Punjabi.
It's a cushion, isn't it?
Cushion?
Yeah, taqiyya.
Taqiyya. No, that's something else. That's something else. This is with qaf. This is with qaf.
Righteous Muslim.
No, that's kaf. This is qaf. Taqiyya. Okay. Now some Islam haters who have an agenda, people who make money out of Islam hating, people who make money out of spreading hatred against Islam and Muslims, people like Tommy Robinson, Katie Hopkins, Majid Nawaz, Tariq Fatah, Ayn Hersey Ali, Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, all these people are all of them. They have made hundreds of thousands of pounds and dollars by selling their bakwas, their bullshit. Sorry to use French. French is a beautiful language, by the way. So it's a figure of speech, right, as they say. So they have made money out of spreading hate against Muslims, right? So what they do is, when Muslims come and talk Islam to the public, to the masses, they say, oh, he's doing taqiyya. He's actually allowed to lie about his faith. No, it's not. We the Muslims are not allowed to lie about faith. Yeah, there is a small group called Shia. They have this practice. We are not those people. We are the 90% of the Muslim world. We are not allowed to lie to people about our faith. We cannot lie. Our sources are clear. The Quran is there, and the Hadith, Bukhari and Muslim and the other 4 books are there. Go and read them. Every single word in these books and texts, we stand by them. We stand by every single word in there. We don't compromise on them, we don't disown it. We stand by every single word in these texts. So where is taqiyya? Where is taqiyya? What I'm saying is what my religion teaches me, that we cherish virtue where it exists. Britain is a great country. It's a great place to be. People of Britain, people of England have given refuge to hundreds of thousands of people, of course for their benefit as well. It's reciprocal. The relationship is reciprocal. It's not one-sided. Britain benefited from immigrants and immigrants benefited from Britain. So it's a two-sided...
would collapse without the Muslim doctors.
Look, after the Second World War, if Labour did not come from the Caribbean, or from Pakistan, or from India...
What they're doing with the Windrush generation, we think that's disgusting.
Yes. So I think enough said today. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And nice talking to you, Bakar, again. I hope we can, agree on certain things.
Mufti is cool, by the way. Mufti is cool.